Okay, this is our protocol for our training for our extensors, so the muscles at the back of the neck. So I'll show it in different positions, but today's position is going to be on all fours. You are putting your weight through the hands or through the fists if you have issues with your wrists. Shoulders over the hands, knees slightly in front of your hips, and you're trying to maintain a neutral spine. Have a little bit of a lift into your head so that your ears are above the level of your shoulders, and that's a good marker to think of anyways when you're doing any weight bearing exercises through your hands. So we are nice and neutral to the rest of the spine, and we're going to do a little yes movement with the head, but I'm trying not to move anywhere else in my neck, so just my head moving on my neck. Okay, so we'll start in a nice position and then lifting up, and I am trying not to move my neck. So that gives me quite a stretch in my upper neck muscles, and we're going to do a set of 10, so that's 4. And I'm trying hard not to move anywhere else. And as you're doing it, you will realise how tight that area of your neck is. Okay, so our next one, we'll need something small to focus on. So like a little spot on your mat, or a coin or a piece of blue tack or something like that. That works really well. So place that kind of in line with your index fingers while we're doing it on the mat. Once again, I'll show you how to do it in a different position. So from here we're working into our rotators. Okay, so the ones that are turning the head side to side. These guys, I'll put more detail in the caption, but they can be in a lot of spasm and restrict our rotational movement. So really important one to get going. So we're through our hands again or onto the fists. Keep your eyes fixed on this dot from here. Head is in neutral so that the ears are lifted up. Our neck is in neutral, nice long spine. And I'm turning my head to the right, keeping the eyes on the coin, and then to the left. Now to start out, this might just be maybe 10 or 20 degrees, and that's fine. Again, we don't kind of go more than 40 degrees from here. Nice smooth movement, side to side. You might feel a little bit of creaking or cracking. And you can do a set of 10 of these. So we're learning all about where our neutral neck is, our neutral cervical spine, and a neutral head position on top of that spine. Okay. Our final one, which is getting into our deep neck extensors. So we have done a lot on our deep neck flexors. These are for our deep neck extensors. So again, we're using this dot or this point. I'm looking at this point here, keeping the rest of the spine neutral. And this time we're allowed to move the neck, but keep your eyes fixed on that dot. So I'm bringing my chin down towards the chest, but I'm keeping the eyes on that dot all the way down. And then keep the eyes there as you lift the head up. And then back down again. And lifting up. Nice and slowly. And the goal is really the quality and the isolation of the movement, because we are looking to retrain these muscles to work better. And in order to do that, we need to get the other muscles, the big muscles like your traps and the vagus gap and the ones between your shoulder blades, get those guys to switch off. So that's why we're trying not to move anywhere else as we are doing this particular movement. Okay, this is 8. Oh, I'm losing sight of it there. And 10. So you can take a breather in between sets, kind of shake out the hands. So you can stay doing it like that, or I will show you it now for the second set on propped up on the elbows. So with this, you don't want to have any issues through the through your back or the lower back or through there. So discuss with your physio what is best for you. So from here, press into the forearms to get a nice lift through the neck, keeping the neck nice and long. And we are going to start with our first one, which is just our chin nod without moving our neck. So it's a very subtle, you can imagine if you were giving someone the okay with something subtly off, just a small little nod. So you're just moving the head on the spine and up. With this, you should feel a bit of a stretch or a pull on the upper neck muscles. It's easier to lift the head up, we'll all go that way. And down. So that's our set of 10 on those. You have the optionals of being on the forearms from here and doing that same movement if that's too intense, so that we're coming into that nodding movement without moving the neck from there. We'll then move on. So with this, you're getting your coin or your blue tack or whatever in between, so just directly under the eyes, but keep that lift with the ears above the level of the shoulders, and from there keep the eyes fixed and turning to the side. Try and soften through the jaw, keeping the head in neutral over the spine. So it is rotating side to side. Again, to start off it might just be 10 to 20 degrees, that's fine. And our final one there at this last set is keeping the eyes fixed on this point here, and then I'm bringing the chin towards the chest but keeping the eyes on that point. And then lifting it all the way up, but eyes on that point. And down. And up. Good for 3. 4. 5. 8. 9. And 10. And you can Relax the arms down, give the upper back and neck a little bit of a break. Again, maybe rest the forehead onto the hands. Soften to the upper back, soften to the shoulders. So you can do ideally 3 sets of that. It can be easier to start with the 4-point kneeling, so on all fours, this particular one. So we have the 3 movements. We have the first one is with your head is in neutral, the neck isn't moving at all, and it's just a very subtle nod up and down. Slowly. With that one, you should feel a little bit of a stretch up at those tight muscles at the top of your neck and base of the skull. The second one then is our rotation one, so we're rotating the head on the neck, that level of C2. I've talked about the level of C2 a lot. And we're getting to improve the function of a small little muscle called your obliquus capitis, and that can get into spasm if you have dysfunction up around that area. So we're retraining a more smooth motor control of that muscle at that point. And then the final one then is getting into the deep neck extensors, but keeping your eyes on a coin or piece of blue tack or something on the floor, and you're working through your full range of motion into forward flexion and then up to extension, trying not to move anywhere else. So give those a go on all fours, either with the fists under the shoulders. A common mistake I see is with the people having their knees too far back, and what that does is it kind of lets you kind of start to sag or let go through the lumbar spine. Having the knees slightly in front just makes it more likely that you're staying in more of a neutral kind of pelvis or a long spine position from there. So let me know how you get on. It's a really worthwhile type of strengthening for your neck, and really helpful for if you have headache or issues with the neck interlinked with migraine and cervicogenic headache.